Yeah, man. I was saying in the chat as well. It's like it's unbelievable to me thinking that if you picture like 200 people in a room looking at your work, like because on YouTube you don't really have the sense of the people, but if you picture like 200 people into a room looking at what you've done, it's
Yeah,
incredible.
man.
I'm
I
very
was saying in the
grateful,
chat
and
as well.
this
It's
has been
like
a long
it's
time in the making. So
unbelievable to me
I,
thinking
I'm I'm
that
I'm
if you
very I'm very happy that we're done with it, that it's out because it took a while, but I'm very grateful for the community and the support as well. Yep. Mhm. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think that I always been attracted by horror and horror stories and mysteries and things like that. And it was, I think, like 10 years ago that I discovered the SCP Foundation Wiki. And for the, for the first couple hours, I was like, wait, is this like fucking real? Is this like an actual site with all these like anomalies? And then you quickly realize that it's not that. It's basically it's basically like a massive library of incredible stories that you can read, that you can take anything you want from it, that you can rework. It's incredible to me that so many talented people came together to create something like that, and the stories inside are just amazing. Like for a filmmaker, it's like a dream come true, because you can obviously as filmmakers you have your own ideas, but then you can merge your ideas with ideas of incredibly talented people, which makes it almost like a team effort, like which is something that the SCP is all about. But I find it very, very inspiring, like the quality of the level of quality that you have on the SCP wiki, which is, yeah, fantastic stories.
Let me know in the YouTube chat if you can hear me. Some people were complaining that my audio was thing, but they can hear you, which is the most important thing. You are the star here. Also, for everyone here, this is super important. Just a little bit of a tutorial. So, YouTube has launched a new feature called Hype. It is a great
Oh
way
yeah.
to get videos to show out to more people. So if you enjoyed the work, the biggest thing you can do to help him get out to more people is you got to go to your YouTube app on the phone. And then you got to go to the video. If it's available in your country, it's available in 32 countries. And in the bottom, you will see a hype button. And what you do is every week you get 3 free hypes. Now, this is really important because you can also hype 2 times this week because the hypes reset
Oh
on
yeah.
Monday. So you can hype today and then you can also hype tomorrow as well. So let me just show you what this looks like. And then we will move on with the questions and answers. But it is. I had another project that I was helping out with, and I saw the full power of hype. So the more hype points you get, the chances are it could get on the top 100 leaderboard, which is incredible for
Oh wow.
discovery. Yeah. So basically, the works is every country has a top 100 leaderboard because you have to be between 500 and 500,000 subscribers, and then that's hype is available to you. So here's what I'm going to do to like kind of illustrate to you. Unfortunately, I can't hype but I will hype tomorrow. So you go to his
Yeah, yeah.
channel, you go to the videos, and then you go to the I do not recognize the bodies in the water. Hopefully you can see it. This is not the best way to do it, but and if you go to the bottom thing here, you will hopefully see there's past the thanks button where you can give money. There's the hype. You got to click the hype button. I want everyone here to click the hype button, to go to your phones while we're talking and you're enjoying the Q&A. Hype it up. Make sure that you can get the word out. Click it 3 times, and then on Monday, click it 3 more times. That will accelerate it in the algorithm. That'll get a lot more eyeballs on it. Of course, you got to do the like. The best way I could describe it is it's kind of like a super like. So please, hype it up. Hype it up. Let's see how many hype points we've got. You've got 1.5 right now. Some people have gotten the message. So you got to get 282K points on the leaderboard. That is doable because you get more hype points as a smaller channel. Um,
Yeah, nice.
back on to the question. What made you settle on SCP-2316 for your latest film project?
Oh well, this is very easy. So, first of all, two things. I am in love with DJ Cactus writing, and I think he's one of the best author on the wiki. And for me, I went through almost all his work. There's a bunch of his work that it's more like fantasy kind of based, which I tend not to like as much as the more like thriller mystery stuff. And so reading through the entry, I was like, oh, this is cool. But then I realized that there's so many other SCPs connected to SCP-2316, which is the class of 76 canon, which is basically this, vintage set in the 70s with some cult, which is like Syncope Symphony, attached to it. And I was like, oh, this is mind blowing. This is great. And then also the other thing, at the time, because this took a while to make, so that was 3 years ago. Um, I do not recognize the bodies in the water started having a bit of a momentum on TikTok, and people started to, you know, asking what this thing was about. And so that was also like a big point for me because as a filmmaker, you want your stuff to be seen. And so if there is already some hype around it, it's good for that. But mainly is the stories around I do not recognize the bodies in the water and the class of 76 canon that was incredible.
Interesting. I had no idea that it picked up on TikTok. What were people doing with it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think people are asking about. They started going around this thing about I do not recognize the bodies in the water, or people saying to other people like you do not recognize the bodies in the water, and I think it started getting traction, and the people outside the SCP Foundation were like, "What the fuck is this thing?" There is no lake like that, and so I had a bit of a moment on TikTok with people just trying to figure out what it was.
Amazing that you were able to like. What was the turnaround for this in terms of like kind of seeing that this was taking off and like getting it all filmed and getting it out there?
No, this was a long one. Just but the reason why it was a long one, it has nothing to do with like technical stuff. It was more of life issues because I think we filmed in 2022. Yeah, I think it was March or August. Yeah, March was the Regional Anti-Memetic Division, and then in July 2022, I filmed Bodies in the Water. So basically, I've done the Regional Anti-Memetic Division, and then I did Bodies in the Water with a month in the middle. So I filmed both of them, but then it took forever because I came back home from Australia to Italy, where I'm now, and a bunch of life stuff happened, and it took me forever, and I wanted to finish Anti-Memetics Division before, and then started doing Bodies in the Water, but it just took forever. In the meantime, I've done two feature films between these projects, and so which one? It's another project that is gonna come out soon about the SCP Foundation, which I'm very excited about. But that one might take another couple of months though. But yeah,
So so
turnaround was long.
so it's good to hear that you were definitely kept yourself busy. So,
Yeah.
what challenges did this short provide that you didn't encounter with your other previous SCP or short film projects?
Well, the weather, because in Australia, which is where this was shot, in July it's actually winter, and so we had all these scenes in the lake, and we had to basically, had actors walking to the lake, and it was like freezing cold, which is one of the reasons as well why we did for the ending scene we did like day for night, because if it was night they probably, they will probably be dead, from hypothermia. And that was a massive challenge because you have to coordinate safety on set for cold weather, and you're out in a lake, and so you need to bring like tents, you need to bring like heaters and that kind of stuff. So for the heaters you need a generator, and so it was a bit of a logistic clusterfuck, to be honest. And it was hard. I'm very I'm very grateful to all the actors that very much marched through the cold to get this done. But that one was definitely the logistical aspect of filming outside in winter on a lake. That was unforeseen because the rest, more or less, what's it's kind of like the same issues, the same problems every time. But that was a first one for sure.
And yeah, filming in winter is always a nightmare. Uh,
Yeah.
so, what's your process of guerrilla indie filmmaking for putting together something like this? How do you handle locations and casting? What went well, easy, and what is like what gave you trouble? Did you film this in Italy or Australia?
No, so I filmed this in Australia, and so everybody's doing an accent. And I think that the what we do is always the same. Like you come up with the idea, you write the script. Once the script is done, you go through the casting process, and the casting process is always a bit of a problem because I think I requested like 10 or 11 auditions for Carmen, and then she came through at the very end, which was great. But basically, what's happening is because I had to leave Australia by the end of August, and I had very little time. I just finished antimemetics, and so I was basically completely wrecked by that. But in the meantime, we were trying to produce Bodies in the Water, and so we started having the auditions and the casting process, and but we were getting close to the date that we were filming, and so kind of everything, as always, kind of forced together at the very end, and that was definitely challenging because you never know, like you're missing a bunch of actors and you're getting there to the shooting day. Then the rest was quite easy because the location we scouted before, and so getting the location was great. Was easy, but then it's basically putting everyone together because there were a bunch of volunteers as well, and volunteers give you the time that they can, and so trying basically you're playing Tetris with people schedules, and that was very hard. But I had like an amazing team that came off from animatics, and so it was kind of like working all together as a team definitely made it easier, for sure. And then you film, and once and then the days on set is super stressful, and you always have not enough time, not enough money, and then you get to the end, and you're happy it's done, but you're also very. It's almost like giving birth, like it's super painful in the moment, and then you want to do it again in a couple of years.
I've heard a lot of people compare like the filmmaking process to, yeah,
Yeah.
it's an apt metaphor because you get this, you get this satisfaction of like, oh my god, these people are enjoying my work, and hopefully the next week you'll see new comments, you'll be jazzed, people reacting, it'll spread around. Remember, click the hype button. I know I'm obnoxious about this, but hype is important. Whenever YouTube is a new feature, it's always important to have the hype
Yeah.
button. So what is your dream SCP to make a movie about if you had unlimited time and unlimited budget?
Oh, this is a good question. I think for me, my absolute dream recipe will be SCP-093, which is the Red Sea object, because the world building inside there is insane, and that requires probably like a TV series, like 8 episode TV series, because like the lore and the world building and the Red Sea object. It's just like incredible. We actually tried to make a short film about it, but um, I didn't. I end up not having enough time. I did antimemetics. I did bodies in the water, and then we were supposed to do 093, and it just couldn't happen. But that's probably my dream SCP because it's massive. Like the scale of it, it's massive. I'm someone who loves the older ones. I'm not quite well versed with the latest one. I mean, like there's like 9,000 of them, so
Yeah,
it's quite difficult. But uh,
it's bigger than the
you know,
Pokemon universe.
yeah. I think also, a lot of people love SCP-5000, which is that one as well. It's pretty good. And another one of mine that I would love to do, which is obviously DG Cactus, is the Ouroboros cycle. But that's like a Lord of the Rings kind of thing. It's that one is basically the birth of the foundation, but that's massive and it's very, very, very hard to do.
And so I think you said that you were in the midst of a uh, another project. So I guess what other SCP projects are you considering in the future or have cooking or
Yeah, man.
any hints? I don't know if
In the
you've been
chat as well. It's unbelievable to me thinking that sorry, if you the people in your room looking. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry, I think I have the live open on the other side. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird when you have like live streaming and then you have the live just because you want to see how it looks, and then you're like going back in time in 10 seconds because there's always like a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
um, but what you call it? Yeah, it's almost like being in an incognito hazard almost. When's SCP
Yeah.
SCP 10,000? You're stuck in a perpetual streaming loop.
Yeah. Copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah, exactly. So, what future SCP project would you might be considering doing or cooking up? I think you said you also have something else you're working on for the not too distant future.
Yeah. This one that well, this one is filmed. So we have this. It was funny because basically what happened was this. I talked to one of my writers, and she's the one that wrote Bodies in the Water, and I was like, her name is Jenna Cosgrove. She's amazing, and I was like, Jenna, can you please write something for me that I can do quickly with not a lot of money, set in, with location I'm gonna give you, so I know I have them and it's not a problem. And she was like, yes, no problem. But then, as always, we start talking, and then things became massive. And we film. I got back like the script because it's divided in episodes. So it's like 4 episodes, and it's divided in episodes. And I was like, just put all the episodes together in a master script. And I pick up the script, and it's like 90 pages long. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is a feature film. And so we actually filmed it. And it's I'm just gonna give you a little bit of a spoiler. So it's not based on any SCP.
Okay.
Um, but I'm trying to what I'm planning to do is to write an SCP that then becomes this video that I'm making that we've done. And it's basically a found footage analog horror
Ooh.
on yeah, on a team, basically on reject team, a teams of rejects that goes on a mission for the foundation, and everything goes, very badly. And so we mixed a bunch of like found footage and analog horror all together. And so that one I'm very excited about, and I think we are like maybe probably a couple months out from that one.
Oh,
We're just
dang.
working in post production, so yeah, and it's gonna be like a 4 episode series, mini
Oh, so
series
you're gonna like
as well.
yeah, that makes sense. It's always interesting, like what makes sense, like on YouTube. To like, usually breaking something up that's longer into series is kind of better, so you have like more
Yeah,
momentum on your channel. But YouTube does allow you. I think the longest video I've ever seen on YouTube is a 48-hour retrospective on the Beverly Hillbillies.
yeah. Yeah, but for me, it's more. I think it was conceived as a 4-part miniseries, so it's divided in episode. But it's also then it becomes like it becomes like anti-memetics, where this is not even for YouTube, because people come back to your channel. It's not even for that. Is I from anti-memetics, I fucking loved once a week being with the SCP community and talking to the chat and getting to know
Mm.
people. And this is how I got to know Dr. Sherman as well. And it was great. And so I think that making something that is not just online, but you can make it an event for the community, I think it's better. So you divide it in four part, and then you premiere every part once a week. It kind of bring us all together to watch something that we about to watch something that we love, to watch a video about something that we love as a community. And I think that community aspect for me is very important, because the SCP Foundation, like, it's a collaborative endeavor from the community. And so I love that. I love the getting, every week, getting to talk to people about the stuff that I make.
That is the beauty of episodic television. Well, it's more of
Yeah.
a film experience, but just episodic storytelling. I'll be a little bit broader. The community aspect of
Yeah.
it, the
Like,
water cooler moment.
yeah, but sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah,
do
yeah,
you
go ahead.
remember, when HBO released Game of Thrones, and then every once a week or whatever, you will come back together, and then for the next week you will discuss the episode, about what happened and what you think is going to happen in the next one, and then you get together, you watch the episode, and then like you stare at your face on a black screen because the red wedding happened or whatever. And then you talk about it, and I think it's beautiful to just kind of like bring people together for something that we love, especially in the SCP Foundation, where we don't have the opportunity maybe to get together in a more like live kind of environment, because it's always like Reddit or YouTube
Yeah,
or
yeah. Comments.
um,
It's a
it's
little bit
kind of like,
passive.
yeah,
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 that was a big thing that we kind of lost in the streaming era. That's coming back a little bit. Is just the weekly releases and then having a cadence. I think, just dubbing all of it once just makes it feel more disposable versus like
yeah,
having something catching up to it live, being there for the beginning or the end, and then catching up and then being there as it gets released live. I think it's a really special experience.
yeah. It's true.
And Dr.
Very true.
Sherman, I think you were mentioning, you were wondering, was that I the one who introduced him? In a way, you kind of did because I think it was your videos reacting to there is no anti-memetics division that kind of like let me kind of brought Andrea's work to my attention. And then I was like, all right, I got to reach out to this guy. I got to do a movie night and see if he's up for it. I got to see what I
Yeah.
could make happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dr. Sharma is the best. He's such a like a champion of SCP creators, and I think it's very important to have someone, because also, obviously he has like a big platform, and he uses it to champion SCP creators, and so and that's amazing because it's not common, I think, when you have, because he built his audience from the ground up, and so he being so generous with us, it's incredible, and which is cool. Like like the SCP Foundation is filled with cool people.
Yeah, it's definitely a fantastic community, and it's always great to like, we were definitely happy as afraid to help sponsor you and give a little spot to
Yeah,
give you a reward for all the kind of hard work that you've do. So we also have like, well, before we get into the behind the scenes stuff, since you did give me several videos that I would love to play, and you to
yeah,
kind of like tell the stories. There was a question in the chat. People were curious about the significance of
yeah.
your chain. They all think it's really cool, but I would love to know its cultural significance.
No, no, it's just like a chain. Yeah.
Okay, it's just a cool chain.
Yeah,
All right, so
yeah,
I've got the. So we might have to turn on. We'll try it. Sometimes Discord has a little trouble with the cameras. But we'll see if we can keep our faces up. Sorry if it always looks like I'm distracted. I got like 5 screens on here. Just looking, keep it on track of all the comments. But what would you like us to play first? We have 0018, 0025,
yeah.
0054.
I think it would be cool. Just play one, and then I will maybe tell stories about what happened that day or whatever, because I am they're all numbers and I'm not quite sure.
All right, I didn't know if you like had any specific order, but now we could just start it. What you call it, one by one. All right, so bear with me as I pull these up, and we go behind the scenes into the filmmaking process. All right, fingers crossed that this doesn't. There we go. All right, ready?
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah. So basically, I think that um, what's cool about this is that we use this location for all the interiors of Carmen and Elliot, kind of like B&B stay, and then we use the exteriors of this house, like the backyard, for the parties in 76, because we try to use as much location as possible, like so that we don't have to move. And so the party scene where the two girls, where Trish and Ali talk about going to Michigan, was the backyard of this house, because it has a very nice backyard with like it was like a pool or something. So yeah, and this is me talking to Ali, which is his name is Sam. He's great actor and musician as well.
All right, one second. People on the YouTube live stream say they can't see the behind the scenes, so let me try one thing.
Oh,
Turning off my, this is why it makes it tricky when you've got multiple things. Let me try turning off my camera, yeah, let's both try going cameraless, so it takes away less resources. Uh, all right, but you can still see it though, right?
me, yes.
All right, perfect. All right, I'm going to continue playing.
Soft stick, scene 25, shot 4, take 1. Mark it.
Wait for frame and focus. And frame.
Yeah, I mean, like this is. I think mainly um, you can see all the lighting and stuff. Oh my god, it takes so much time to rig all this shit.
That's one thing that most people do not appreciate is how time consuming all the lighting is.
Oh my god,
So,
uh,
why
uh,
so late
it's
on
so long.
Valentine's, Val?
She's lying.
You don't know though.
Everybody lies all the time. There's so
And then there's like yeah, 1,000 people around. But I mean, like there was it was like probably like
Your
10
mom
of
will
us
pull up in her
at that
face,
stage. But
yelling about her probably dead daughter. You look way too personally invested in
I think I told him this was a little flat, and I went there and
this
um,
kid's your
told me that. But yeah, so basically, this is just I think the main thing here is just you can see that we use like this house for like shoot location basically. I think we can move on to the next one.
All right, so let me pull up the other one. Try disabling your camera. Some people are still saying that they
Yep.
can't see it. Yeah, there we go. This is a little bit of a first time we've tried something like this. So it's not going to be perfect. So thank you for bearing with me, but always let me know what you can see and what you can't see. All right, all right. So we got it. Let's see if the YouTube people can see it. That is my bird in the background. Maybe you can hear him.
So that one, yeah. You can like make him drop that exactly like
Drop
that.
that.
Exactly.
And then
Pull back, push back.
See if the YouTube.
Punch it in the ribs, yeah. Grab her there. And lower her down slowly. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Oh yeah. So basically, what happened here was like we had this kind of like fight sequence that we didn't have time to rehearse the fight sequence beforehand, and so we were kind of like short on time. But Liz, which is the girl with the pink hair, she's the she's the second AC, so she does clapperboard and everything. But she's also like she's very good at fighting, and so she was like a our fight coordinator. and she just stepped in and helped us out with that because we were like, okay, how can we do this? And so on the fly, she was like, "Oh, I do martial art. I do a bunch of stuff. I can guys teach you how to do it." And that's Lee, our makeup artist.
There we
She's
go.
incredible. She was with us. The makeup artist Lee was with us also for Antimemetics.
There we go. I think I got it for the people on YouTube. Hopefully they can see it now. Yeah, a little live and learn, and then you get loves. So,
Oh, nice. Okay, so
what you call it? So this is like filming behind the scenes with the where you're kind of like blocking the attack scene, right?
Because I've kind of like
yeah, Liz is teaching them how to do it, and the guy who plays the thief, which was supposed to be Nicholas, the ball guy, he's Matt, and Matthew. He was with us on Antimemetics as well. This is kind of like almost the same team from Antimemetics. Um, Even Andy, who's taking behind the scenes pictures and stuff. This was a pain, man. Like we had to like simulate moonlights. Obviously, we always ran out of time and probably went up until like 1 a.m. or something.
Did you have to
Yeah.
pay them
Luckily, that was
overtime?
yeah. Luckily, that was an Airbnb and we slept there. All right, cool. We can move on. I think
All right. Let's see if there's anything
now that
else.
you are all connected. Yeah, because Andy put up the camera and then let it go. That's Fabio, our DP, the very Italian-looking man with the glasses.
Oh, he's your DP, not the guy with the camera.
No, no, that's behind the scenes,
Ah.
Andy.
All right, so let's move on to the, especially now that I've got a better clip going. Let's do number 45. Bear with me.
never touch this one. Most 17 in color temperature.
Oh yeah, this is the
Yeah, go for it.
like the horror bit. This was like a fantastic. So we used the entire location. It was like a house. That it was like a mid-century house. Um, it was screaming 70s. It was fantastic. Like the interior design was very good and was kind of cheap as well. I found it on Airbnb and the lady was so accommodating because when you looking through doing something and you ask Airbnb, they're usually very wary of letting people film in it. And so the lady here was very, very accommodating and she let us film through the entire house. Yeah, that was great. Great house. And that's Liv, yeah, the actress who played Trish. She's an amazing actress.
I did love that scene where she's like just playing the instrument, and she's got like
Yeah.
blood on her. That was a very creepy shot.
Yeah, like yes, means like
Yeah, because I think, like, I now obviously Class of 76 is such a massive canon, and there's a bunch of SCPs inside, and also a lot of the SCPs they do all come together, but there is no it's not like a tale, right? So you take Antimemetics. Antimemetics is a tale, so you can read it. It's a book, right? So you can read it, and it's pretty much like a story. Instead, when you have different SCPs, they are just like SCPs, and most of the time, they're like reports. And so we try to merge a bunch of SCPs, and this is because we started from the idea that Syncope Symphony was a shop that they had in town, which was a front for the cult, and they were handing out instruments, and that's why you also have SCP. I can't remember the name, but basically it's the band, the high school band, and that what makes people, like the sounds, the way that they use music is what make people forget. Yeah, I think yeah we can
Ah.
move on.
All right, so
Yeah,
let's do the 0066.
yeah. This is the living room of that house, same house. And we had Linda on the old lady, which played it beautifully. She's a very very good actress, and lots of tight places. Yeah. It's just like this was a good location, but very tight places to film. You
Uh,
kind of have to squeeze, you know.
yeah, how do you avoid the dreaded boom mic shadow
Yeah,
over your
yeah,
actors?
yeah, all that
the
kind of stuff.
the bane of all amateur of all indie filmmaking, the boom mic in the shot.
Yeah, cool.
Uh,
Yeah, we can move on.
all right, so let's move on to the next one. And then we've got 70.
Oh yeah, this is the first scene basically, like the first scene with Carmen and Elliot, and there was so much wind on this day that we had, you know, two people were holding up the bounce there because it was flying around. We actually have like a massive, what's called like a massive 8x8. So it's this massive piece of white fabric on a metal frame. But basically, it flew away because it was so windy. It becomes like a sail, and so it flew away because it was so windy. I think we broke it. To be honest, it was so fucking hard to film here.
You know the funniest thing is like it seems like such a small production, but you got like a half a dozen people there. It just goes to show even the simplest things of like someone just like talking in front of a lake. It
Yeah.
requires a lot of human bodies to get that there.
Oh yeah, man. Like just the logistics of it. Yeah.
Uh, and do you prefer boom mics versus having like a lapel mic?
Oh, we use both on set because then you can then basically you can choose or you can mix them together to get like a proper sound. But we did have both, especially here because it was very windy. So without lapels, you probably hear nothing. But also, our sound designer and composer Jack Sultana did an amazing job on cleaning up the audio and making sure that everything was well mixed because the audio here was bad, you know, like because it was so windy. And then when you move with the lapel mic, you have so many like scratches and stuff like that. And so, yeah, he did like an amazing job.
All right, so let's move on to the next clip. Um, 0015. So what are we seeing here?
Okay, so this is me dressed up in the white suit because we didn't have enough people. So in the scene where you see us dressed up in white, is the it's me, and then is the behind the scenes guy Andy. We pretended to be like crime scene people, and we're doing so they
Is that an
yeah.
in character jump? What's that little pop step?
Basically, he's getting his energy up a bit, or maybe he's also like trying to warm up because it's cold as well. But yeah, it's like usually actors will do that when they have a scene where the energy needs to be up. So you do a bunch of push-ups, you do a bunch of like um, yeah. Can you see? Because this is the moment where he pulls it out from the lake, and so his energy needs to be up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of hyping himself up. It's funny though to see you walk around with the white like suit. You look like you're a
Yeah, because
hazmat guy.
yeah, because it was so cold. I was like, I'm gonna keep this one on because it's basically like a giant condom, like keeps me warm. So I was like, I'll keep it. Yeah,
Well, all you need is like a hazmat and maybe a helmet, and then it's like, you're doing some next level, what you call, what do they call that? Method
yeah,
acting, Daniel Day Lewis stuff.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think we can move on. I think
all
this
right,
goes for a while.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything else that's, but it is.
No, definitely. Yeah,
You got the blanket,
yeah. This is to show you how cold it was. Yeah,
all this. There you are, dressed up like a little marshmallow.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Michelin man.
you,
I'm like, it's cold.
you look great. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so what are we looking at here?
Yeah, this is the ending scene. So this is like the end. And we were running out of light. And can you see Leah? She's holding up the like a kind of stereotube because it's simulating the sun. Because we had the sun straight as a backlight, but then the sun went away, and we were like, "Oh my god, we're fucked!" And so we had to pull out like the light and trying to pretend that was the backlight from the sun because we were running out of time. It's so funny because basically what's happening is that the sun is going slowly going down, and you need to film everything before sun runs out. And this is the last shot, and I'm calling a wrap, and everybody's packing up and going home. This was the last shot of the lake.
The martini shot. Yeah, I'm sure you, as a filmmaker,
Yeah, yeah.
have you ever heard the story about Spielberg's martini shot?
No.
It's a great piece of trivia. Apparently, Steven Spielberg doesn't like film either the second to last or the last shot of his movie because on Jaws, everyone hated him so much because it was such a troubled production. He thought that they were gonna like throw him over a pier and kill him, so he just left
No.
and like let the AD shoot the last thing of the movie. So now he thinks it's like a
Oh,
sign of good luck. So like either the martini shot or the last shot, he just doesn't do
nice.
because of Jaws.
Yeah, I would definitely. Yeah, I would definitely would love to get wasted after that shoot.
All right, so let's move on to the 1126. This is fun. I'm glad we arranged it. I'll
Yeah.
up my streaming skills a little bit, but so what are we seeing here? This is the famous.
This is like this is the shot where we dressed up as the cult, and it's me. It's always like me, Matthew, the AD, and I can't remember who's the other guy. I can't remember who's the other guy, but basically it's just us from the crew dressed up as cultists, trying to do the whole thing, and that yeah, that bounce is gonna fly, man. Like it was so windy. I think
So,
that's the sound guy. Yeah.
here's my question. I remember that scene being very dark. How much of that was like post? Because right now this is not very scary. This guys
Oh,
dressed in black in broad daylight.
yeah. We had to do day for night because the actors had to day for night. It means that you shoot it during the day, and then you basically color grade it to make it look like night. For example, they did that on Dune Part One. They did that on Nope. Um, but obviously they did it very well. We were like, we just need to do this in post because it was so cold that we had people, walking inside a lake in winter, and yeah, you couldn't do it on during the night. But also during the night, like you will need massive lights to light the entire scene, and we didn't have the budget for that, obviously, because it's
Yeah,
just like
I imagine that would be a nightmare getting like huge like stage lights and then getting them out there with like a generator or something.
yeah, and then the generator is they're so loud, man. Like if you have like a 5K or like a 6K generator, it's just like it's almost like a motorbike going on the background. Super loud.
And do those reflective screens really help? Because I remember like in
Yeah,
college using those a lot, and I always felt like, is this doing anything?
yeah, man. They do a lot. Actually, if you can get them, the bigger they are, the more the bounce. But when you're doing close up, something like that, just it's enough. And so we're bouncing the light a bit to create contrast. Fabio, the DP, is very good. He's a bit anal, but he's very good.
Uh, it looks like you got someone wandering there in the back,
He just,
doing
yeah,
going.
he decided to kill himself. Well,
Well, it's
yeah.
great though when you could like, oh, who's that little dog there?
Oh, because this was like a public lake, so we had the permit to shoot there, but we obviously there's like people passing through, which is not a massive issue. It's just like you either have someone stopping them while you're filming, and then when you stop filming, you just let them move through.
Did that dog get her? Did you have a lot of trouble with like public people? Because I know that's like the eternal battle of all filmmakers. It's like,
Oh,
how do I?
actually, they called. Yeah, no, they called
The
not
police.
the cops, but they called no, it wasn't the police. It was it's like how do you call them? Like the rangers. I don't know, people who look at the parks,
Yeah, yeah, park
and
rangers.
they came up. yeah, park rangers, and they came up to see what the fuck we were doing, but we had the permit, and so it was all good,
In this
and
day and
they were
age,
like pissed off. Um,
in this day and age, I can imagine like a bunch of guys with like hoods and dark cloaks would not would not
yep.
get a great reaction from some random person, even if you got cameras and a
I
film
think
mic.
yeah, it's definitely not. They were a bit pissed off because nobody told them that we were filming, and so they had to come up to check.
Mm.
I think if you move forward, Isaac, we will see. I think there's like the people walking into the lake.
Yeah, yeah.
If you move, yeah, there you go. Then I think
Oh yeah, there you go.
prepping them there. That was I love my actors, man. They just did it. They were like, okay, we're gonna do this, and they just walk into it, and they were able to walk in a straight line without dying because it
Well,
was
so
so cold.
here's a question: like, how do you handle multiple takes? Like, did you have like alternate costumes? Because I assume if they walk into the lake, they're getting wet, so that would make it difficult to keep continuity for a second take, right?
Yeah, funny. Nope, we didn't have not multiple clothes. We were just like, please, guys, just fucking walk and just make it right. Like, just do it, and we'll film it. We had like two cameras, so we filmed them in two different angles, and I think they walked in, and we filmed it, and when they walked back out, we gave them blankets, and then they had to go back into the water to film the ending scene where they killed Nicholas, and so they were just standing there into the water. We were like, okay, now we all get ready, and then when we're ready, you guys walk in, they walk in, okay, cool, action, and then we're just filmed, and then after we finished, everybody comes out. Yeah.
How many takes of having like, them walk in the water did it take before you were like done?
No, I think we did like this was very very fast because I couldn't. Yeah, I didn't want to put them through this, and so I would just like we'll just do like one or two takes. So I think if you move forward, because this is like a half
Yeah.
an hour long or something.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's fun to go like oh. So this is
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the cult ushering them in.
yeah.
Every cult's got to have the casual moment. Take off the mask.
Oh, baklava.
Get some coffee. Yeah. Doing a little YMCA, throwing it up.
Yeah, I think the camera pan. I think you will see them walking through.
All right. Oh, for like people walking through, or them walking into the water.
No, they actually walk into the lake.
All right, let's keep going.
I think I'm not sure if
It
this
might
one.
be on another clip. Here we go. All three of them
Yeah,
together. Oh, here they are warming up. All
yeah.
right.
No, because we were stalling because they're like, just do not walk into the lake until we're ready. I think it's another clip.
All right. So let's move on to the next clip. Um, that is 113 or 113. All right. Yeah, this is probably them going into the lake.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see the moisture at the bottom. How deep did they have to go for the
I
take?
think feel like the waist. I think the waist. Yeah.
Oh, I can see why you only did it two times. And what was the
Yeah,
temperature
yeah.
here? Like 50 degrees?
Oh man, I don't know in American unit. I think it was yeah, I think it was like 12 or 13 degrees
Hmm.
Celsius.
Oh, wow. So let's zoom it up and see if we can. Oh, there they go.
I think it's like a proper clip. Yeah. Anyway, this is like they just walk, and they need to be to pretend to be hypnotized, right? And so they need to walk in a straight line, and then the bottom of the lake is all muddy, and it's like a slope. that makes them go down.
Yeah,
So it was very
it also looks like it's tricky because like it's really rocky. So you're like, how do you preserve the safety without them like stumbling over and like kind of like breaking
oh
the illusion?
yeah, well, actually, that's a good question because obviously safety it's very important on set, and I actually had someone who was a stunt coordinator, very um, very experienced stunt coordinator that was he was in the water. I think you see him in the next clip. He was in the water with a suit on, there with them, basically making sure that nothing happened because you never know. Someone might trip, they might fall into the water, they might get hypothermia, and then it might be like you never know. And so we had someone on set for that.
Did you have a medic on set in case like someone drowned? Because I hear if you film in water, you have to have like a ambulance on standby. Or I don't know. I could be wrong, but I remember hearing that if you shoot anything
I,
in
I
water.
Yeah, we didn't have like an ambulance, but we had someone on the crew that had that was trained as a safety officer. Yeah, so that two birds with one stone.
Ah, nice. Uh, that's always useful. I gotta remember. I used to work for this talk show called the Bill Cunningham Show, and I was like a fire guard. So
Yeah,
basically, I just had a certificate, and I was supposed to show people the exit if there was ever a fire, but there never was one. So here we have the. Is this the second camera of them coming in, right?
yeah. So basically, so Fabio is the one standing in. So you have Graham, which is the guy who is holding the hands of Amy, and he's the stunt coordinator. Then you have Fabio, who's standing there with the camera. And then there's me with the other camera. So we have like two cameras going on at the same time, just because we wanted to cover as much ground as possible with less time of them in the water. So he kind of like walks them through, make sure that they're okay, that they don't fall.
Did you have him like test to see how deep it was? And also, was the water kind of rank? It looks like one of those kind of like lake areas where it's like really kind of like filled with mildew and mold. Uh,
Oh yeah, it was muddy. Yeah, it was kind of muddy, so you couldn't really see through. But it wasn't like crazy.
any particular reason why you chose this body of water?
Because of the background. So this is a good question because the issue that that we used to have in Australia is that everywhere you look, there's gum trees, right? There's like eucalyptus.
Mm.
In this part of the lake where we're facing, there's like pine trees, and so it looked less like Australia,
Yeah,
basically.
it feels very American. If you told me this was like
Yeah,
Seattle or New Jersey, I wouldn't bat an eye.
yeah. That's the issue. Like if you really pay attention in all my SCP films, when we're outside, you can see gum trees everywhere because they were all shot in Australia, which is bad.
So, given that this is the land down under, filled with all kinds of like, were you in an area with like saltwater crocodiles? There's some insane animals in Australia. Was that
Oh,
ever a
yeah,
concern?
no, because I was in Melbourne, which is the lower part of Australia. All the bad stuff it's up on the north,
Ah, so you were safe.
where it's like a tropical.
Bird eating. Oh, what's going on here? What's this like consuming here?
Yeah, there you go.
So
They
was that?
killed him, and they're like, "Ah, okay, let's go out of the water."
We
Everybody's
got
like, fuck, 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 fuck.
And you filmed this in was this in like November or I think you told earlier, but I might have forgotten while I'm. But I can see you've got the
um,
Saran wrap.
yeah, this is July, because Australia is on the other side of the world, so the seasons are inverted. So in July it's winter.
Oh well, what is winter for? I thought Australia was like one of those. It's always temperately warm. It's like California, but I could be wrong.
No, no, yeah, it is. But Australia is as big as America.
Mhm.
It's like you have different climates, like different type of climates. So, but where we are, it's almost like being in uh, Oregon or like Northern California.
I do love the what you call it, the Saran wrap. Let's scrub through, see if there's
Yeah,
anything else really noteworthy. But yeah,
no,
it's funny
thank
that
you.
like it doesn't seem like a big deal, but this rocky area seems like it would be like a huge potential hazard with all the cameras.
Yes. Oh man, it was bad. Even for walking. In fact, for the ending scene where they have a small little fight, we had like what's called like a timber board made of wood at the bottom to make sure that they don't fall, that they don't hurt themselves, and all that kind of stuff. Because it's bad, and the sun is going away, and yeah, it's. I don't think
Yeah,
there's much else.
and you're just like fighting against the cold. Um, and then was this the
That's
last
it.
thing you filmed the scene, or was this kind of like earlier in the shoot?
No, this was early. I think the scene was the actual ending scene. Yeah, but this was the last day on the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think.
All right. So let's see. I think I have one more. Or was that?
Oh,
Yep.
you got one more?
Yep. 150.
Oh, this is previous in the it's previously in the day where they walk through the lake, and we choose this spot because obviously there's less countries. It's a bit more continental
Mm.
in a way, and we're trying to set up this scene. Oh my god, there was a lot of people. Uh,
Yeah. How big was your the entire crew? If you was it like 25 people, 30, 50?
no, no. I think it was like 10 or without actors, it was like 10 or 12 people, even less. It depends on the days. Some days we'll need more people. Like at the lake, we'll need more people, but then other days, you don't really need a lot of people. But yeah, they're just walking through. It's just like you see, all the people working. I think it's important like to realize how many people work
Yeah.
on this kind of stuff.
E-
It's
Even if you think like a small film with like maybe like 5 characters seems simple, but it takes a lot of people.
yeah.
Even for something that like seems simple. What did you film on? Is that a red camera?
No, we actually filmed on the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, which was my camera at the time,
Mm.
and we had these beautiful lenses from Fabio, the DOP, which were the Sigma Cine lenses, um, which made it look very good. I think the Pocket camera is the closest one to the Arri Alexa in terms of like uh, rendition on the color because of the color science and the highlights. Obviously, there's nothing like the Alexa. The Alexa is just I don't know. God made that camera, but the Pocket was very good as well, and it's so small, so it's not heavy at all. You can just like carry it with you. You can rig it up. It's pretty good.
So it's sort of how much does it cost? I know most like high end cameras are like 50 or $100,000. Did you have to rent it, or was that like part of your own personal gear set?
No, no, the Pocket camera is like at the time was like 2 grand or something. No,
Oh
even.
wow. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
so there you go. If you want to get filming and you got 2 grand burning a hole in your pocket, you can use that to get started. Although, well, some people like who's that filmmaker everyone loves, Sean Baker, who like films stuff on iPhones. Do you think you'd ever
Oh yeah,
do an
yeah, yeah.
iPhone
But
project?
it depends. Yeah. I mean, like the right now the iPhone is pretty good, but I wouldn't. It's just the quality of the iPhone is good, but it's not as the other cameras, and also it's not really about the sensor itself. It's that you need a bunch of stuff around the camera to make it
Mm.
work. Like you need focus pulling, you need to be able to connect a monitor to it, to send wireless signals, and all that kind of stuff. Because I have my own monitor and I'm looking through it, and so it's it's more about it's not more about the camera. It's more about the how the tool makes everybody else on set work.
Mm.
You know?
Ah. Well, I think
Yeah.
that's what you call it. That gives us all of the. I'll stop the what you call it, the stream. Let me just adjust one thing, and then I think now would be a fantastic time to open it up, and then let's get some viewpoints of what people. I want to get some questions from the community. I have the YouTube and the Discord open. What would you like to ask Mr. Andre about filmmaking the SCP universe and bringing this stuff to life? Um, Now is the chance for you to ask. We've been going for nearly 2 hours, though, so we'll probably wrap things up
Oh
shortly.
wow.
Time
Yeah,
flies when you're behind the scenes fun. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but yeah, please have any questions. Ooh, let me see. I think did somebody ask already? Well, while I wait for the questions to come, I will continue the dialogue moving forward. Um, I guess what is the budget for kind of like doing like a short film like this typically?
Oh yeah. So this was okay. If I'm correct, because I remember I budgeted for both anti-memetics and this one all at once. Um, and basically, this one was a tad less expensive than antiemetics because antiemetics had a way more production design. But I think this was around 20 grand Australian, which is around I think 10 grand US, so like $10,000 US.
Oh, really?
Let's say.
Yeah, it seems like it was definitely like not to say that it didn't have its own complications, but like a anti-memetics division seemed like it had so much production design. It seemed like that
Yeah,
definitely cost more.
but not that much more because I think anti-memetics. I think it cost me around $26,000 Australian, so like $13,000 US, 13 or 14. And then, but I think the lucky thing is that me and Jack Salzani, which is the sound designer composer, which he is my cousin as well. Very Italian thing. He's my cousin, but we can do so much. So we can edit, we can do color grading, we can do VFX. Jack can do all the sound design, all the music, and so we basically during post production, there's so much we can do that it brings the cost down a lot, a lot.
Um, I imagine that helps a lot. Redacted asks, is there any chance you guys will add some more weapons to SCP-5K like the HK-416 and the Glock 18? I don't think Andre can answer that. I will
I'm sure
say
they will do.
we
I'm
do
sure
have
they
a
will do.
community event where you can what you call it, you will have a chance. A better person will be here to ask that kind of specific question. Although I will reframe it. Is your next movie going to feature the HK-416 and the Glock 18?
Well, there's a Glock 17 Gen 4 in it, so I guess that that's good. And we also have like an AK 104, I think. Yeah.
Ooh, well, it's interesting. You've talked about like one thing that your aspiration is to have like a sort of a the tactical side of the SCP-5K, not 5K, but like SCP in general, to make something that would like maybe focus on the MTF unit and where you could do more action scenes. What attracts you to that? And because it seems like doing action filmmaking is much harder than kind of doing horror filmmaking. Well, I guess they're both hard, but doing action sequences does not seem easy.
Well, I mean, like I think the issue, not the issue, but so I'm obviously not American, right? And I think um, one of the things that we saw, especially I think that because of Overlord and even Royalty, he made a lot of like tactical kind of like SCP based films. It's the SCP became this like, oh, the MTF needs to have all this like the tactical stuff and all these kind of things. And for me, I'm not like that interested into it because I didn't really grow up with things like that, and guns are not really a part of our culture, not in Italy, not even in Australia, and so we weren't But I love guns. You know, I shoot guns when I came to the US. I own a bunch of like replicas and things like that. But it's also something that's very hard to get right. Like if you do a tactical kind of like tactical shooting short film, you need to make sure that you're doing that. You know, like your CQB stuff very well done. Because if you don't, people are gonna definitely call you out in the comments when you post the video. And so it's something that I'm not really well versed in. I would love to do maybe something that it's more oriented on the shooting side, but it has to have stories, and there needs to be something in the story that draws me to it, because it can't just be people shooting guns, because that's cool for 5 minutes. But then if it's just like shooting guns, it's like, if you think about the Terminal List with Chris Pratt, like it's super tactical, it's super like military focused, but it's amazing because the story behind it and the pacing and everything, it's great. You have your like military stuff, but you also have amazing storytelling. And so I think that I think that it needs to be balanced. Yeah.
So we have a good question for you now from SS Evie. How did you do the deformed face on the girl playing the sax?
That was a external VFX shot. We hired someone from Upwork and asked him to basically. So the starting shot was already good. She had like that crazy, that very crazy expression, and then I asked him specifically to just move one of the eyeballs to the other, in a weird way, so it felt like a natural. And then I asked him to add just a bit of blood into it. Yeah, it was like an external VFX shot.
Oh, well, that's cool that you could do it from Upwork. I didn't think you could get that kind of quality of work.
Yeah,
You could just get like VFX shots for people on Upwork. That's also kind of
yeah.
amazing. We also had another question, a more serious question from Redacted. All right, what do you guys think about a movie with SCP 409 or something like that? So I was just looking it up. SCP 409 is basically
Yeah, the Plague Doctor.
the contagious crystal. It looks really cool. It
Oh,
seems like there's a lot you could do
409.
with it.
SCP. Does he mean 409 or 049?
My
Uh,
guess is I think it's a 409.
okay. No, because usually, okay, 409. I actually don't know. I actually don't know that SCP. I'll have to look it up. Is it the it's not the red ice, right? No. Would you? I'm gonna look it
No,
up.
it's not the red ice. It's basically like it's kind of like turns people into crystal zombies. So like crystals come out of their skin.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a really
That's
cool
cool.
visual. Like best way I could describe it, just from what I'm seeing. Superman, how he has the incredible castle, the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
that, but
That's okay.
horror. Superman goes there, and then he's like crystals jutting out of his skin and his face. Pretty cool, gnarly visuals.
Yeah, nice. It's probably like VFX heavy, though. I would say, yeah, you have to crystallize. Yeah,
The problem with VFX is that VFX is like really really expensive.
they're expensive, man. I mean, like with AI, you probably can do something, but it's not. It's quite hard. Even with AI, it's just like hard to get stuff done. It's it's not perfect yet, and it definitely can help cut down on like some VFX things, but it's still that very hard.
Yeah, AI is kind of like not perfect so far. Another question from Dr. Kuchi name. We need a D class testing chambers movie.
Yeah.
That's like let's say we recently put out the Discover program. Um, if the stars align and you could do a D class testing chambers movie, maybe centered around the 5K Discover program. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like a mode where you play as the D class and you're like sort of
Oh yeah.
forced into these like testing chambers. What do you think you'd do?
Oh yeah. Actually, I think it's a very interesting a very interesting line of storytelling because you always focus on the agents, the MTFs, the SCPs, but you never focus on the poor people that get sacrificed for the for the SCP Foundation, and to just kind of, I think a D class film or short film will be pretty good actually to do.
It does seem well. Ages ago, there was an infamous series that was like animated. It sadly kind of fell apart. But it did focus on like a guy who was like a D class testing, and he was also an SCP himself, so he was basically immortal. It kind of had this good
Oh,
BoJack Horseman art style. Dusky Woodsman said, "I love your anti-mimetic series and how weird and surreal it got. You do psychological horror amazingly well. Have you ever looked into anything with the O5 Council like SCP-2718? What happens after death?"
oh, is that the Dameron project? I think so. Yeah. Oh my God, that's part of the end of that, which is DJ Cactus, which is amazing. The That's actually a very. I was looking into making the end of that, something around the end of that in a more contained way, because the end of that is I think it's like a K class scenario type of SCP, which is usually it gets on a global scale, and so it's like it's massive, and when it's on a global scale, it's always hard to do. But the end of that, and the idea behind the end of that is very, very good. I think Project Dameron, it's that one is very cool as well. I think it's still a bit VFX heavy because, well, not really, because you have like the dream machine, or not the machine that separates the bodies, so they're like a half dead, half alive. That's a good one. I definitely look into the end of that. I mean, like there's like 9,000 SCPs. You have your pick.
That is the kind of the beauty of the universe is that you've got so many different options that you can kind of like pick from, which always gives you like a lot to choose from.
Yeah. Uh, I need to read this SCP-9000. This is like the third time that comes up. Dr. Sherman was saying, SCP-9000. I haven't kept up with the 9,000 context. We'll have to get it done. I have to read
To
it.
explore it. Well, I know that the 9,000 series is always uh, beloved, just because that's always like when the community comes around and who gets the to win, and that's when all the big ideas come out to
Yeah.
play. Sorry, I'm just like trying to get this back on the YouTube screen. It was like flickering a little bit. 1 second. We have another question. All right, the next question. What about something about SCP 7528 Containment Breach or SCP 001 Daybreak Event Movie?
Yeah, the Daybreak, it was something that I was toying with because obviously it's a very beloved SCP. So you basically you have your so you have your creatures. So you have like like 096, 049, 106, all that kind of stuff. And then you have this like massive K class scenario SCPs. And I think the Daybreak is obviously a very famous one. But the issue with Daybreak, it's massive, man. There's so many stories, like you have to pick one inside, and then also there's like the effect of people melting to death. um, and so that one is probably another one that you have to think how to do it properly, and um, yeah, yeah, Sherman saying like some like practical chronometer flash stuff. I think, or maybe even what's the movie I'm thinking about? With Margaret Qualley, The Substance.
Oh
Like at
yeah,
the end
Substance
where.
is fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. Daybreak. It's a good one. It's just like it's this massive, massive world building.
Uh, Does that intimidate you, like the SCPs with like more world building, or do you just kind of like finding things that just feel like, oh, that'd be a great, cool thing, universe to play in, or this allows me to do like a thing storyline, or this lets me do Friday the 13th storyline.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the only issue that you see as a filmmaker is budget, right? Because if you have to do something, let's take for example SCP-5K. Um, just building the suit from SCP-5K, well, it probably costs like $10,000 if you want to do it properly. You know, it's um, and stuff like day breaks, which you have. It's almost like reading the Lord of the Rings, and then you need to decide, you know, that you have to do like 50 pages out of the three books. It's pretty daunting to just kind of like have a something as big as like that. You can't really compress it into a short film. I think it's very hard, but you can do small pockets. Like for example, when I was toying with the idea of doing something with the end of that, I was looking the ideas of the screamers. So these people that, you know, because you can't die, they take this pill from Russian scientists that made them perpetually having nightmares, and so they constantly screaming instead of dying. So that's a pocket of the story that I think is fascinating to work on, but it's very hard to like do the entirety of the end of that as an SCP. And I think Daybreaks is the same. You have these pockets of stories that you can do, and then it's like it's so massive. You kind of have to choose because you don't have the budget to do all of that.
Yeah, yeah. The money is always the limitation of storytelling. Not everyone can have an infinite budget to
Yeah.
do whatever you want. But it's fantastic to see how like the SCP universe has allowed you to kind of like grow. How do you manage the time between like doing real film jobs and finding the tremendous amount of time and effort it takes to do these sort of short films?
Well, you need to block out the time. Like for basically, what I do is I come up with the idea, and then we start writing the script, and then I either get someone else to help me, like my one, you know, either like Jenna or Mitch, a bunch of my writers to help me out, and then once I'm confident I can do it and I work it out, then I block out the time. But I also need to set the money aside, so it takes some time to just make the money from the business because I run a production company and a marketing agency. So you make the money from the business, and then you're like, okay, this is probably going to end up costing me like 20 grand, right? And so when the money is set, then you start producing, you block out the time, and then you do it. But that's why, and also it takes a long time. Like filmmaking, it's a long process. It's you can't. It's like filming content with your phone. Um, I'm getting better at it in terms of like the speed of it. You know, like the next project, the 4-part series that we are releasing in the next couple of months. We shot it in June, and now it's almost ready, and then it's gonna come out next year. So it's like a 6-month period, but it's still like a very long time. You know.
Well, it's impressive that like you're able to jug like doing filmmaking projects, running an agency, and still have time for your own like creative expression. But it seems like it's like
Oh, but
starting.
you know what? I have no social life. I got no social life. Like this is the only thing I do, man. I work. I go to the gym. I work, and then I try to make movies. That's it.
That's living the dream. That's like next question from redacted. Well, the next question, guys. I'm sure of how much money would be needed. But what about a movie about SCP story? What happened to Site 13? So I don't know if you're
Yeah,
familiar with
Redacted
that.
is kind of like Redacted is it's reading my mind constantly. I What happened to Site 13 is something that I actually also consider doing, but the and I think that's easier to do than, for example, like like Daybreak or SCP-5000. Um, and yeah, obviously it's DG Cactus, so I love it. What happened to Titan 13? It gets a bit complicated when you get to the end of it because everybody like it's strapped around like some sort of like a nuclear reactor or whatever, and but that's something I was looking into it. But now I'm focusing on something that's shorter to do and less crazy. But yeah, what happened to Site 13 is definitely up there as one of my favorite and something to do.
So you've got like an infinite list of stories that you're sort of looking to accomplish. Um, do you ever think about like potentially? I mean, if the opportunity comes, would you ever love to collaborate with Evan Royalty?
Oh yeah, oh fuck yeah, man! Like he's the quality of the stuff that he does is great. I think um yeah, I mean like we are very far away because I'm pretty sure he's from LA. I think. Uh, well, not sure actually. I think he's moving to do a bit more like machinima style of content.
Mm.
But yeah, we'll love to work with Even. Yeah, he's great.
What? Although, what is stopping you from like filming in the Italian countryside? Uh,
Oh yeah, nothing. Like I definitely. Actually, Stalker. He even Royalty made Stalker,
mm.
the a film, like a short film. He did like he moved away from SCP and he did like a Stalker short film.
Well,
The
was that
guy who
because I know
play
Stalker has like a lot of sorry to the Stalk was it Stalker the
yeah.
game or Stalker the like the Russian thing the roadside panic? Because I know Stalker has like a
No,
lot of
so Stalker the game, right? Even Royalty made a short film on Stalker the game.
Mhm.
Basically, his last short film is on is about Stalker, the video game, and the guy who played Crow, we actually been talking about trying to do something together. Like maybe me going there or he coming here to film something. It's just that the distance it doesn't help, you know.
yeah, L.A. and Italy is not around the corner. Although it'd be fun
Yeah,
if like somehow like you could use L.A. or he could use Italy or somehow that there was some cross pollination in terms of like because they're two very unique landscapes. One being
yeah,
like the association of Hollywood, and when you think of LA, you think of Terminator. When you think of Italy, you think of
yeah,
the countryside. You think of the great mafia movies. You think of well, maybe not the Sopranos. Sopranos is more Jersey, but that one fantastic episode where they went to
yeah,
Italy. But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's a lot of great synergy. So I
Yeah.
guess how much more time do you have? I feel like we've gone through a lot of the stuff we want to, and I don't want to take up too much of your time. But I am enjoying what you call it
No, I'm
this
fine. Like,
immensely.
I'm fine.
All right, so maybe we'll get
Oh,
right.
I'm fine. Yeah, yeah.
All right, so do want to make sure that we don't, if there's something important you needed to do. So we'll go for like maybe 15, 20 minutes. So I'm kind of curious. How did you find your writer, who's been like your frequent collaborator? What is the origin story of the person, the woman who wrote this? And did she also write "There Is No Anti-Memetics Division"?
No, so the girl that I work with, she was we used to work together at the company when I was in Australia, and she's been writing for forever. And so we got to know each other, and we did a lot of short films together. We worked together quite often, and it was it's a very long relationship that we have, and she's amazing. She's actually signed with a Hollywood agency,
Oh,
and
cool. Oh,
she
that's awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's very good. Um, and she's been helping me out with writing stuff. And when I have something that I know I need someone that I can't write myself, and I need some help, she's always ready to help. And she's also give me feedback on the stuff that I do, and she's amazing. She's like very good writer and very great friend as well. Yeah, so we've been working together for like a while, to be honest. Yeah.
How many years have you been collaborating?
Oh, since I think it was 2016.
Oh wow, so
Yeah.
you got like goddamn, 2016 feels like yesterday,
Eight,
but it's like almost
yeah,
10 years from now.
yeah. Yeah, 9 years or something. Yeah,
So it
long
seems like
time.
it's been a very fruitful collaboration. Did you ever give her for any feedback on her scripts?
No, no. She doesn't need my feedback. Like she's very good. She actually gets feedback um from LA, basically from the agency or
Oh, nice.
script doc. Yeah, yeah,
Did
yeah. She's
is there any LA hands on there are no bodies in the water?
no, that's just her. We do so every time we actually do pay for feedback. So once we finish the script, we submit it to a bunch of script doctors and we pay for feedback to have different eyes on the script.
Ah.
Um, yeah, so to make sure that because when you write something that you're so into it that you don't see the problems with it, and then as we were talking, previously, me and you, we also do test screening, like, and so to make sure that we can catch a bunch of issues before the actual film comes out. So we do that at the script stage, and then we do that at the film stage. So when you have a rough product, you show it to make sure that. And there was a bunch of people from the SCP community that got to watch the short on uh, to watch the show before it releases to give us feedback, and they were instrumental for us to change a bunch of things.
We've got another interesting question. SS Venny asks, does the script go through, how many iterations does it go through typically before you feel comfortable shooting it?
I'll say so we do. So the way that we work is that we do a ton, like a lot of work before we actually write it. So you do all before you get to first draft, you do so much work, and then I think you do first draft, and then you do what's called like a dialogue pass. So you write first draft, which is basically just blah 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 blah, and usually it's shit. And then you do like a dialogue pass to make people sound like people or sound like their characters. And then after that, you do another pass, so it's like another draft, and then you submit for feedback. And then you do a pass after feedback, and then you resubmit it, and then you do another pass, and then you usually get to a stage where at some stage you have to film it because you can go through this process of iteration forever, and it's just that it doesn't make business sense to keep doing it. At one point, you just have to shoot it. And then after that, you just do test screening to fix out a bunch of stuff.
So it sounds like there's definitely like at least I guess six passes
Four,
or
five,
yeah.
yeah, 4 or 5 passes. Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense. You got to have that sort of quality control. Redacted had a few more questions.
Oh, yeah.
He had what you call it, three questions. What would you? I would like to see a movie about the story in Area 12. I think we would all like to see Area 12 get a movie. Uh, so let's say through the grace of God, you could do a movie about SCP 5K, the game that are afraid. What would you do? And I give you $100,000.
Well, I think that what we do is basically you want to do basically kind of like a containment breach film where there's an issues on one of the side, and this MTF gets, they need to go in to contain the stuff, the breach, and so you have the chance to just feature a bunch of SCPs. You get your like tactical, cool military stuff, lots of shooting, but you also want, because I think you take SCP-5K of the game, right, which is a collaborative, sorry, not collaborative, like a multiplayer, cooperative game. It's almost like playing Radio of Not in the SCP Foundation universe, right? So what you do is the cool stuff of playing in co-op is that you talk to your buddies, right? So I think a lot of the banter that you had during co-op will have to go through will have to go
Replicate
into
it.
the movie as well. Yeah, right. So like it's because the banter makes everything funnier, and makes the character better. And so I think you will probably do something like that. That you got, if you have to do like a 5K movie, SP 5K kind of film. Yeah.
So you kind of like capture the banter, playful but get kind of serious. Because I know, well, it's interesting. Video game movies were like the bane of existence, but that now it's kind of like
Yeah.
video games are becoming what comic book movies are now. So they're fertile ground, which people can see that there's like a huge audience with like the Sonic movie, the Mario movie, the Last of Us did very well. It's taken a lot more seriously than it used to be. When what was the high mark? It was the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I think it's because you give it to people who don't love the games in a way. For some Hollywood producer, it's just an IP they can sell, and I think it's the difference between someone like, for example, I love the SCP Foundation, and I'm trying to make it as right as I possibly can, and I think that's more, people like me that love the community try to make right by the community. A Hollywood producer is just trying to buy an IP to make money off of it. It's a bit of a different thing, like because I don't make money off of this. Like I I spend so much money on making the SCP films, and
Hey,
I make more money from that.
you get enough YouTube AdSense to like buy some coffee.
Yeah, but like, for example, I'll give you. I'm very open about about money. For example, I think that so far since Antimemetics was posted on YouTube, I made like 3 grand, 3 grand and a half, which is not little money, but I spent like 13, 14, right, making it. And so
Yeah.
it's like you don't really make back the investment unless you make like 20 million views. Like but for me, this is community building. Yeah. I'm trying to build my audience around something that I love and something that they love. And I think this is more important than actually making money, because I make money in different ways. You
Well,
know?
yeah, as like a kind of like a guy who does like indie filmmaking, you got to have multiple streams of income, and it's good to hear. And I always
Yeah.
like people who are transparent about like, because like even like Mr. Beast, who everyone's favorite, I use this loosely, filmmaker, on
Yeah.
YouTube. He says like I spend millions and millions of dollars in this video, and it's not the YouTube AdSense. He probably makes only like a couple grand or maybe $1 million on like one of those videos that he spends $4 or $5 million on. But it's all about
Yeah.
his other sources, and that's what you got to be scrappy, because like YouTube, the AdSense, it rewards certain things. Like if you made a movie about crypto that taught people about crypto or financial
Yes.
products that appealed to women, that would make you a lot of money, because that's like a demographic that advertisers will pay a lot of money to reach. But like
Yeah.
general
Well,
storytelling, the RPMs tends to be lower.
I think my RPM is like just shy of $2. I think it's something like that. But you can make more money if you if you do like a feature film, like a proper film, and then you put it on YouTube, it's fine. But you can put it on YouTube, movies and TV or something like that, which is a different section
Oh,
of
that's
YouTube.
interesting. Do
You
you need special access
Yeah.
to put it on YouTube's movie and television?
Yes.
That's something
Yes.
I don't know about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, so basically you can use like an aggregator to put it on. Um, Obviously, if it's in YouTube, movies and TV shows, you can't put it on your channel because that will give
oh,
like a content ID. That's right.
all right.
Yes, because yeah, well, people cannot buy something or like pay YouTube TV streaming services to watch your movie that it's also free on YouTube, right? But apart from that, you can then put it on Tubi, on Amazon Prime. You can do stuff like that. So you can definitely make some money back. But I think that it's the YouTube. You can make a lot of money from AdSense if you post once, twice a week, and you get constantly like like 500,000 views. Then you can actually make a living out of it. But then it's a different type of
Well,
YouTube channel.
then it's like much more low effort content. Like it rewards. So if like you have a podcast or a stream where it's just like you yapping about like current events, that doesn't take as much production value
Yeah,
as like getting half a dozen
yeah,
people in. Then that's extremely profitable. But
yeah,
something that requires like a crew. uh, that that goes down significantly. Getting back to some of the questions
Yeah,
that. Oh, sorry.
it's very different.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
yeah, it's very different. Yeah, it's true.
Redacted asks, what about a short horror movie with SCP 939 instance?
939 is the Many Voices, I think it
I
is.
think it's
Let
it's
me
like
see.
this red demon monster. It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to think what the name
Again,
is.
yeah, I mean, like, you're reluctant, you're asking for like CGI and VFX. That the creature's kind of like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
you're right. It is called with many voices. But is there any way you could do it practically,
Oh,
or
you know what?
is that just like a huge money sink?
No, you can't do that kind of creature practically. It's going to be it is going to feel very uh mechanical. It's impossible. Also because they move incredible speed.
Mm.
They're very agile. No,
Well,
you have to do
I don't
CGI.
know. Didn't you see Alien Earth with the guy in the suit? And how many times they had that guy in the suit just like hanging out? I really kind of like that show despite its flaws. But one thing that I was like not a fan. It's like, oh god, why is the guy in the suit hanging out in the middle of the woods? Ah,
Actually, I wanted to mention something because I'm reading through the Discord chat. Calliope stuff was saying about tactical action Alpha 9 would be interesting. Well, I gotta be honest, like I f- I would say you might end up being very surprised because we're actually working on something about the resurrection canon that will take probably a year.
oh wow.
Um,
Just of like
yeah,
pre-production to get it set up or to film.
yeah, we're running right now, and it's just like it's that's a long one. That's a long one, and it's man, I'm dropping so many spoilers, but yeah, basically we're running like a 6 episode series
Ooh.
about resurrection. Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
which is a, a bit different from so because I read. So you can buy SCP tales on your Kindle, and so I bought the resurrection storyline, and it was which is the one basically Afana is the one where you have SCP-105, in as you have SCPs as soldiers in task forces. Um, and it started out very good, but the issue with okay, so the best thing about the SCP Foundation is that it's a collaborative project, and everybody can add to the project and to the canons. But that's also the worst thing about the SCP Foundation because if like um, you cannot a ship only has one captain, and so if you have like a thousand different captains, it makes it very difficult to steer the ship into one direction. And so the resurrection canon, it was very good, but I feel like there was too many things put into it, and the story kind of diluted. But the
Mm.
idea behind it was phenomenal, and so we took it, and now we're running this SCP series. But that's a long process, and that will probably yeah. I don't think we're gonna end up doing anything before mid to end next year.
Hmm. Well, that's cool that you've got like so many candles in the fire.
Oh
Sassy
man, you
was
have no
asked.
idea.
SS Venny was asking on YouTube. Ever thought about doing a fundraiser?
Uh, yes. So I'm actually considering doing something soonish. But I mean soonish, I mean like 6 months probably. But I'm trying to figure out how to do it properly, and what kind of like SCP to propose the community. Because when you raise money from people, especially on Kickstarter, it's so what you're doing is you're asking for trust, right? And you're asking for you also want to do something that people are asking for, and I want to be very considerate about doing something that people want to see and I can deliver, because I don't want to, I don't want to just ask for money to do something that people don't want to see and then end up being very hard to do and having to compromise. So I'm studying how to do this properly and how much money to ask as well, because you don't want to just shoot too big of a number, because you want to keep it realistic and you want to keep the trust with the community.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, it's trying to figure out what to do and how to do it properly before launching.
Uh, Now that makes sense. I think a lot of people have been burned by Kickstarters, so the gleam of like
Yeah,
unrestrained creativity's kind of like gone off in the just the sort of Kickstarter field. I feel like you've built a lot of trust though, considering how many movies you've
but
done.
exactly, and I think that's the thing as well. I think you need to you gotta show that you are worthy of the trust of a community. Like if I come into a community and say, "Hey, hi, I'm new here. I don't really understand what's going on here, but can you give me money? I will make something." Like that doesn't really work. I think that I need to show that I can deliver first, and the quality and the kind of like content that I can do, and so that people can say, okay, I can trust this guy with my money if he does something else for me. And I think that's very important. And I think it's always been more about um, audience building for me for that reason as well. It's like you gotta trust me before you can give me money. I need to give you 10 before you can give me one. This works in business as well. You need to build a lot of goodwill with your clients if you want them to pay you money. And so I think it's important, that people do that.
Yeah, I guess would the Resurrection series be worth a fundraiser, or if you could think about like a hypothetical fundraiser thing or a Kickstarter, Indiegogo, what would be your dream project?
Yeah. I mean, look, as I said before, my dream project will be SCP-093, Red Sea Object. I don't think people might end up crowdfunding that. I think if I do something more around like SCP-5000, then
Hmm.
maybe it's easier to get people hyped up for our SCP-5000 movie. Um, the Resurrection canon storyline, I'm just gonna be honest, it's pretty fucking good. Like the things that we're writing, it's pretty fucking good. Also because it's like uh, um, it's not global, but it's like European based. So it's not just set in one part. We are like moving around Europe. It's almost like a James Bondy kind of thing.
Oh,
Mission Impossible. Yeah, like a Mission Impossible kind of stuff. Which will require money, but because we are in Europe, like flying to Paris is like $50 for us. So like it's
I
not
hear
super
that's one of
expensive.
the big
Um,
parts of being part of the EU is that like moving from
yeah.
state to state is like, oh, you're moving to country, oh, I'm going to Germany, I'm going to Spain. You could do it relatively easily.
Oh yeah, like a flight to Barcelona from Venice will be like I don't know, like $10, $12 if you get it cheaper. You know, so it's easy. But yeah, maybe Resurrection, maybe SCP-5000. I actually I need to figure out properly what to do. Yeah.
um, all right, I think we've been going for a while. Again, hype the movie. Everyone here, go to your little whatchamacallit. I will do one more tutorial. Go to your phone. Go find Andrea Askinar's channel. I hope you could see it. Um, Go to whatchamacallit. I do not recognize the bodies in the water. You will go here. You will go to the like screen. Hopefully, you can see my phone. This is not the most intuitive thing, but this is the best I've got for you. You go beyond, you scroll, you keep on scrolling. Then the little thing with the star that says hype. If you do not see it, try updating your YouTube app. I know this is a pain in the ass. Do it. If you like this work, steal your friends' phones, steal your mom and dad's phones. It takes 2 seconds. You just have to go to the hype. Oh my God, you've got 5.1K points of hype on this video. We are already doing it. But it requires more. So I want all of you. You have 3 hypes. You could do it 3 times. Do it today, and then go to the video tomorrow and also hype it up. That is the star. That is the point. That is gets the more discoverability. And then I will show you what the result of that hype is. Sorry to be obnoxious, but this is what you got to do. So the beauty about the hype thing is if you go to the main YouTube section, where you have the where is it? Why am I not seeing it? Sorry about this. Because there's yeah, here we go. So on the sidebar at the top here, oh, that is not what I wanted. All right, so the sidebar at the top here, you will see the little the compass. You click the compass, and then you got all the things. Generally, you don't do this, but you've got shopping, music, TVs, movies, and then you've got the star, which says hype. You want to click the hype button here, and then this is the top 100 hype, whichever your territory is. So you could scroll through all of the top 100. We want to get this movie in the top 100. It is 2,081K points. I think we could do it if we could get enough people to use their 3 hype buttons. We can maybe craft it to the top 100. Then more people will see it. They'll be like, oh my God, what is this? This is a real movie. This isn't story time or Droopy buys a loaf of raisin bread or Dandy's World or Plush Plop disgusting Sonic junk. This is real cinema. So hype it up. It is very important. And SCP 5K is also on sale for the Steam Scream sale. We're 25% off. I'm guessing most of the people here already probably have it, but you can buy it for a friend. The Steam Scream sale is only for a few more days. Thank you, Redacted, for redacting. He said he hyped it up 3 times. Remember, you could do it tomorrow as well. I want everyone here to hype. I want you all to make sure you hype the movie or the video. And before we
Isaac, can I say something? No, can I say something before we go? I just because I haven't said it, so far, but I just want to thanks Afraid Interactive for helping us out. Like we very much appreciate the you guys helping us out in sponsorship and organizing all of this. It was great, and it's good that you guys support filmmakers and content creators in the SCP community as well. So thank you guys. Seriously.
It was a pleasure to collaborate with you. I was super excited to I was there in the meetings, like pushing it. Like, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
This is the
Thank
kind
you,
of synergy I hope benefits everyone. So remember, hype it up. And before we end off, what words would you like to leave to aspiring filmmakers out there, people who want to do what you're doing right now?
Oh, I know this is a bit of a cliche answer, but just like pick up anything that you have and just fucking shoot. Just go out and do something with your friends. It's the easiest way to start. You don't you can start doing short form content, post it on TikTok, see what works, and then double down on things that work. It's just you don't need fancy cameras and equipment. You can just start slow. Just go out and shoot. Just fucking do it. Basically.
You go out and shoot and put it on TikTok. Just make something. Don't wait. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make something. That is the spirit of indie movies. That is the spirit of indie games. All right. Well, thank you all. Stay tuned for future events.
Thank you, guys.
And it was a pleasure to host you and a pleasure to host this. And I hope we could do it again whenever your next SCP project is ready.
All right. Nice. Thank you, guys.
Bye.